Good morning, YouTube world. I'm your host, Paul Italia. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Before I introduce today's guest, I just want to keep everybody updated. I got the Arm Wrestling Buzz. It's going to be happening every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Our first show, we will have special guests, Sandra Sadis and Austin Jaggers on. So make sure to tune in for that one.
That's
Now
a hot one.
I'd like to introduce today's guest, Devon Larratt. What's up, brother? How are you doing today?
Oh, hey, that's a cool show, Austin and Sanders. That's actually quite an interesting match.
Oh yeah,
That could be good.
we want to settle the little beef between Pradeep and Sandra. So we're gonna hash all that out on the show.
Is Pradeep on the show?
Yeah, so Pradeep's one of the four. It's me,
Oh my
Pradeep,
God.
Josh from Grip and Rip, and Tom. And
What a great lineup.
yeah, we're gonna have each different personality. We got a promoter on there, me being a promoter. We got the arm wrestling news guy. We got Tom, who's an arm wrestler, an upcoming news guy, and we got an arm wrestling fan.
Yeah, man. I'm subbed to all those channels. Those are all great dudes. That'll be quite a podcast. You guys, you're all young and like new in the game, but really know your stuff. That's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. A lot of big things coming with that.
Yeah, man.
So I want to start off with asking a few questions from my subscribers. I made the post that you were going to be on my channel. So, of course, a lot of people had some questions for you and all. So let's start off with that. The first one is, what arm wrestlers did you look up to in your younger years?
Well, I mean, at first I looked up to my coaches a lot. Like my initial coach, Dion Langell, like to me, and still to this day, I mean, oh my God, this guy was just a freaking monster. Like this guy was about 165 pounds. But when you get those guys who are just perfect, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like they have a certain weight, but they're way bigger. It's like it doesn't even make sense that they're so light. It's like just the way that he was put together, just perfect. Like so strong, past where he should have been. I was really inspired. Like when I met Dion, it really changed my life. Like I went from like my discipline level went through the roof as a direct result of knowing that a human being could be so fit, like I was just like, I want to be more like this human being. So yeah, I got a lot of inspiration from him. Like the guys.
Well, let me ask you, Dion, is he still in the arm wrestling game now?
Not really, no. He's so I met Dion when I worked in the oil field. So after high school, I went out west and I worked in the oil field. And Dion just so happened to be my boss. Well, I shouldn't say boss. He was like my immediate super. He ran the welding shop. He ran the welding shop at Nowsco, and so I was just always in there. Just whatever Dion need. I was trying to just learn everything I could from this guy because he was such a freak. Yeah, I mean, I've been inspired by so many guys. I mean, all the people I compete with, I get inspired by. All the superstars. I mean, there's always my entire career, basically, from the time I really started to know what was going on, John Brzenk was always the guy. Right. So, I mean, the eyes are always on him, always. But yeah, I got inspiration from tons of people.
Let me ask you, when you were getting coached, what does that mean? What did they do for you? Was it like they actually taught you on the table? Like, what does a coach do for you?
Well, so when I say they coached me, so I would say my coaching in arm wrestling has been like, I'm still getting coached. to this day. So at the beginning, it was very, very, like, this is how you arm wrestle. He'd take me to the gym and he'd show me all the exercises. He would technically counsel me as we were, on the table, because before this, I used to arm wrestle with my grandmother and my friends, but no, like, I had, just like anybody, I was a new guy. I came into the sport. I was like, didn't know what I was doing, and he taught me how to, post and roll, which, seems so natural now. But, I remember at that time, I was like, this is completely crazy. Like, I mean, I just want to go like this. So yeah, he kind of straightened me out, got me into the gym, got me training like an arm wrestler. Then I moved back home, got with the Picton Arm Wrestling Club, working with Troy Eaton, Mike Gould, guys like this. And we started to work on, the more finer points, like, we were advancing our game, and I was definitely the junior guy on the squad. But, because I was so insane about it, I asked a lot of questions, and, together, eventually we were all kind of on par. I'm still getting taught by guys like Troy and Mike today. Like, they got more time in the game than me. Like, they'll still be like, Devon, like, maybe think about this a bit more, and it'll be good. And I'd say that so much coaching comes from YouTube, because if you just watch, and if you're a good student and you're a good study, you watch guys win, you watch guys lose, you think, okay, why did that happen? What caused this? You can make some guesses. So you're learning while watching. I learn from my competitors. Every competitor is actually my coach. I watch them, I watch their training, I evaluate it. Yeah, man, you never stop learning.
Let me ask you, is that something you recommend when a new arm wrestler gets into the game, is to go and seek a coach?
Oh my God. Here's the thing. It's a lot different now. It's a lot different. When I got in, that would have been a 100%. You must find a coach. You must find a team, because the information wasn't out there. It really wasn't. Now there's a lot of information online. Like, if you're watching this, you can just as easily watch how-to arm wrestling videos. So you can go a long way. Guys today, when they come into the club, they're already halfway there. They're already doing the exercises. They're already watching pro arm wrestling on TV on YouTube all the time. They see the flow, they see the movement, they see the exercises the guys do. So right away, their movement patterns are already better. But bottom line is, you got to play, you got to fight, you got to condition, you have to get with the club. You have to be practicing the sport like as a lifestyle. Like, you have to be doing it. Like, I don't like to say have to, because there are many ways to do it, but I struggle to see it as the easier path. And the more fun path is definitely to get with a club, to get with people, and practice the sport all the time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. When I first got into the sport, the guy that I got in touch with was Engin Terzi, and every week we would be on doing a couple hours of FaceTime, and he showed me, actually remember showing him my whole gym setup, and I had, like 1,000 handles, everything ever made. And he goes, Paul, throw them all out. No good, no good. And he goes, go get a piece of wood. And he brought it down to the most basic things. And, yeah, real great experience just getting to talk with Engin on a weekly basis, and just kind of learning from him, and kind of just seeing him training his students and all. I got all the exercises, and that was an amazing experience. And then I also linked up with Travis Bajent, and Travis would come out once a month, and we do a couple of days in a row of just training and all. What an experience that was.
Yeah.
So
That'll
to the
fast
next
forward you.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. It's just, then I popped my biceps, so that kind of just slowed things down a little. But
Yeah.
the next question I got for you from one of the subscribers is, what are your 3 best pullers of all time?
3 best pullers of all time. So the 3 toughest guys I've faced. I mean, Well, or not even that I've faced, that I've seen. Okay, so I got to go with Lavon. He's, to me, he's the best. He's the best in the open weight division that I've ever seen. Like the guy, the guy right now, I'd say he's the highest level that we've had. Um,
Is it now? Is it just his strength level, or is it table IQ as well?
it's the full package. Like
Okay.
if there's one guy you don't want to see on the arm wrestling table, it's Lavon.
Okay.
He's the full package, man. He's like, the strength is ridiculous, and he's no dummy.
Can I ask you this, Devin? If he was 100 pounds lighter, would he be as dominating as he is now?
Well, of course not. If any arm wrestler was 100 pounds lighter, they wouldn't be as good. You know,
Okay.
the same can be said for any single person, but he's not. He's 400 and some pounds. That's part of what makes him so powerful. And the thing is if when you think about open weight arm wrestling, open, that's where it becomes very clear that arm wrestling is not just technique. There is a massive strength component to it. And that is becoming more obvious every single day right now. Like when you talk about where the sport is, um, arm wrestling in the weight categories will always shed light on who are the most technically adept arm wrestlers. If you're winning in a weight bracket, you not only are strong and conditioned, but you must be a technical savage.
Now, let me ask you: if you gained 100 pounds, would that change the outcome between you and Lavon?
Well, the problem with me is I don't gain weight pretty. I I turn into like a beetle, right? My body gets fat and my arms stay the same size. It's terrible. It's terrible. I I struggle to gain weight in a way that's really meaningful. And believe me, Paul, I try, man. I really try. But and it's not some new thing that I've been trying. My whole life I've been dedicating myself to getting stronger and bigger. And some people just have that capacity more than others. Um, for sure. Look, if to be more specific, if I could give another like 4 inches on my arms, oh yeah, I'll be super dangerous. I know that I have good arm wrestling skill, but I also know that to be a great arm wrestler in the open weight division, man, you got to be able to get just insanely strong now, insanely strong. Yeah. It's interesting, you talk about like where is the future of the sport. Like I think that there's a lot of different futures, okay? A lot of different things that are exciting that we can focus on. But when you speak about open weight, I'm going to tell you, you should be looking at that strongman community. When I think of strength athletics, the common strength fields, you got powerlifting, you got strongman. I'll throw bodybuilding in there. Arm wrestling, there's a lot of Highland Games, a lot of guys like this, strong athletes, strong human beings. But in my opinion, some of the strongest and the biggest come from the strongman community.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, they got the frames that they could pack on that weight. I mean, some of them are already that big.
And
You're
when
right.
and
That
when
could,
strongman once again starts to shed light on arm wrestling, and we're ready now. Everybody knows it. Arm wrestling now has got enough spotlight. It's cool enough. They'll start doing it now.
why
And
don't you grab one of them? Why don't you be the guy to and start coaching one of
sorry,
them?
buddy, believe me,
Okay.
I'm way ahead of you.
Oh,
Um,
perfect. I like it.
Now, what happens is wherever people think the level is, and it's unattainable, like the 4 minute mile, right? Like it was unattainable, then somebody broke it, and then everybody did it. You know, we all view Lavon like a space alien, right? In our community, we're like, man, there's no freaking way. Like, who's beating him? Yeah, they're out there. They're out there. They're all coming.
I like that.
We're arm wrestling is about to go in the open weight division. Be careful. Be careful. Yeah.
I like that. Let's back to the three top pullers. We have Lavon
Yeah.
as number one.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I don't ever feel good about not saying John Brzezinski, you know. And I actually do not put John's best form at the top of the list. I think that there's probably a few guys, a lot of them in the modern era, that are going to give the best version of John a hard time. I believe that. I think the sport's come along, and I think that, you know, the only thing is John is, probably supposed to be about 215, 220 pounds, for most of his career, and at times even lighter, you know, and but so a guy like that to be so dominant for so long, um, I feel like there's no list that shouldn't include him. Like, just so dominant, so hard to beat. And yeah, you can point out a loss here, a loss there, but for 95% of the time, the dude is winning every single time, you know? Um, so, so yeah, I mean, he belongs on any list where you talk about the greatest. Um, and then I guess to spread it around a little bit, I mean, there's a lot of people. I look up to a lot of arm wrestlers, but um, I think that we have to go back a little bit, and I mean, I'd say Engen. Got to go with Engen. I think that Engen brings a level of focus and intensity and specificity to the game. It was really rare. He did it across multiple categories. Yeah, his ability to just dominate the tournament scene and WAF for such a long time. I mean, and I mean, I'm biased as well because of just I've seen all the things he's done. Yeah, Engen. Engen's got to be on that list.
What about yourself?
Me? Oh no, I'm terrible at this game. I got no place on any list. I'm basically a YouTube arm wrestler. I'm like on a level of like Schoolboy or like Arm Wrestling Whisperer or something like that.
I disagree with that, brother. But what would make you put yourself on the list? What other accolades do you want to hit?
I'll arm wrestle till I'm dead. I'm not gonna stop. It's
But
interesting,
what puts you on the list though? Like what could put you on the list? Because I mean, you've been doing this 30 years. You've been very dominant. I mean, now you're going around and you're still. I mean, at this age, you're dominating everybody, and the only person that's beat you really is Lavon. So,
well, I'm 40. I'm almost 48 now. I don't know what the future holds. I mean, I like to think of myself as immortal and like never gonna get broken but we all have an expiry date, for that level. And it's never when we want it to be, but it's always right around the corner. So it's important to remember in whenever I'm planning or trying to come up with things, I have to remember my mortality. uh, but for me, I will be continually driven by just having fun. That's it. That's all I'm really after, is just having good times. And for me, a good time is if I think that I'm bettering myself in this game. Really, I mean, I've given up on basically the rest of my body. I've basically given up on my left hand, and all my energy, all my focus is to try and make my right hand into arm wrestling at the highest level that I can. So it's an interesting experiment for me, and I'll continue it, and I'll get happiness from that experiment. And I think I can probably do this. I mean, if things go well, I'm just not going to stop. I don't know. I mean, we can have this conversation again, hopefully in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. If I'm still arm wrestling in 20 years and healthy, oh man, I'm going to be difficult. I will be difficult to deal with.
Do you have any goals of being the best, or ever being called the GOAT, or is that in something you're chasing?
That's that'd be nice, but um it's not why I do it. I'm a super simple person. I'm super simple. Like I do it just because I enjoy it, and it gives me a lot of pleasure. Like I arm wrestle at night. I go hang out with my buddies. Good times, and I get on the table and rip. It's a very simple life, one that I take great pleasure in. And that's why I'm doing it. You know, whatever else happens is like I would do it if there was no money. I would do it if there was no events. I would just walk around trying to crush people. It wouldn't matter. Yeah.
You consider yourself the number one ambassador for arm wrestling?
People say that a lot to me, but it's a wave, man, and we are all on this wave together. There are people before me. There are people beside me. I'm definitely a face that people recognize and associate with the sport. Uh, you know, there, there's a lot of great people in this game, and I think that the best thing that I can do is whenever the light is shone upon me, is that I very quickly shine it onto others. I think this is one of the best things that I can do as an ambassador, is when people draw attention to me, that I just try and expose all of us. And because I know, man, I feel like I'm a student to so many of the guys still. Like, I would never be where I was without, even guys like Mike just down the road from me. I mean, if it wasn't for him, there would be no me. If there wasn't for Troy, if there wasn't for Dion, there would be no me. Arm wrestling is a community. Yeah.
But I got to say, brother, I respect everything you do, and you are the guy that everybody recognizes when you say arm wrestling. All these non-arm wrestlers, they ask what I'm involved. Right away, I'm talking arm wrestling, and they're like, "Oh, do you got Devon Larratt?" And the first thing I do is I go, "Oh yeah, let me show you," and I show you when you had me on your channel and all, and they're like, "Oh my God, you know him," and all. So I just a lot of respect for what you do, brother. It's unbelievable, and to me, you are the number one ambassador in arm wrestling.
Thanks, buddy. Well, I hope I can serve it well.
So the next question we got from our subscribers is, would you ever consider a rematch with Lavon?
A rematch with who?
Lavon, however you say that.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, what I really want is I want to fight at the highest level I can without overstepping. And I realize that there are many, many very worthy opponents for me, very many. And I want to be very honest with where I think I am and where I think I can be. Lavon taught me a lesson. Okay. He showed me where the level was. He damn near ripped my arm off. The dude tore my bicep the last time I was in with him. I know that for me to defeat Lavon, I would need to be quite a lot better than I was that day. And if I felt that I got there, I absolutely would love to do it. But I will not challenge Lavon until I go through all of the names that stand before him, all the European guys. You won't see me pull Lavon unless I beat, Vitaly, Hermes, the King of Poland, oh man, why am I forgetting his name right now? Tall, great dude from Poland. He hung out at my house. What's his name? Help me out.
I'm not sure. Is it Camille?
No. He beat Hermes in a super match.
Oh,
Earlier.
Alex Kardeccia.
Right? Guys like Alex, like Morozov. I have Gennady coming up. You know, there's all these Rivas, you know, there's all these guys who stand before Lavon in my mind. And to me, I don't want to or need to pull Lavon unless I can beat all of them. You know, there's no point. There's no point. Um, yeah, Lavon's the king, man. The way I see it, like people talk about the match with Hermes and they give Hermes a lot of props, as they should. Dude fought so valiantly, so incredible. And there is an argument for sure that if the reffing had been slightly different, that result could have changed. But in my mind, Lavon is still the man. And if they had a rematch in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, to me, Lavon is still the heavy favorite. He still is. We haven't found the guy yet, in my opinion. Yeah, I hope there's an Hermes rematch, but I still don't think that he will be the favorite against Lavon yet.
Yeah, I agree with that because I think Lavon just got a fire lit under his ass, and now we're about to see a Lavon we've never seen before.
Oh God. Well, look at I don't think we're gonna see like some massive changes because I think Lavon is pretty much already pretty incredible. But I think you'll see him arm wrestle a bit smarter. I think by the time it came to round 3, Lavon was a little bit kind of disrespectful in his pulling, you know, just a little bit, and that maybe cost him some energy and some efficiency. But I think if he just smartens up and just executes, I think that match could go much cleaner 4-0.
I also would believe that he's going to come in with a little less weight on him. You know, I could see him losing, 15, 20 pounds just for an endurance factor.
Maybe.
Next question is, who is Saptobe?
I know who it is. I know who it is. I don't look at, if someone wants to live in the shadows, I'll respect that. But I know who it is. I have a lot of contacts.
Let me just ask because I'm a little confused. I've heard of Saptobe, but I don't know the whole lead up or anything. Like, give us a little context.
Basically, Saptobe talks a lot of shit about me online.
Okay.
That's it. He basically just badmouths me online. And it's funny, because there's being a public person, which I guess I qualify for now, I get a lot of crazy stuff. Like I get random messages from fake accounts all over the place, like all the time. My family does, like, so crazy to me that people care the way they do. Some people love me and some people hate me, and those things are very close. The love and the hate is very, very closely connected. But at times it's been so alarming that when it comes to like threats and death threats and stuff like this and escalation, that from my past, I'm lucky I have some people who are really good with this stuff, and I'm just like, yo, tell me who this person is. And they tell me, and most of the time I'm just not concerned. Like there's nothing really serious, and I don't mind. I mean, I think that when it comes to freedom of expression, I think that one should be allowed to kind of anonymously post stuff. But I do know who you are. And it's funny to me. It's fine. I don't care.
Is it still going on today or it's
oh yeah. This that kind of stuff goes on all the time. Yeah. Okay. But Sap posts every once in a while. Yeah, no big deal.
Do you do sit down arm wrestling?
Not competitively. No, I never have competitively. No, I mean I do it, but I don't go to events or anything.
Is it something that you could possibly get into, or you really don't have much interest?
I don't really see it that much of the future of the sport. I personally don't. I think that we're pretty good with what we got going on now, and if there is a way forward, I believe it's through freedom arm wrestling. And freedom arm wrestling, the layout of the table can look a lot of different ways. But I do think that rule set, like what you see in Japan, is potentially a step forward for the sport. I actually do believe that. So, I like traditional arm wrestling the way we do it and, what you see on YouTube now. And if there were a way forward, I would want it to go more towards freedom.
Okay. Now, how is the Armbet app doing? Has it grown?
I can't hear you.
The Armbet app, has it grown?
Oh, I got a bad connection, I think.
Yeah, you froze right now as you got a mouthful of food in you.
Oh, you were
We're
frozen there.
back. Yeah,
Okay.
we're back. Yeah, no, it froze for a second with your mouthful or whatever. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But how is the Armbet app doing, and has it grown?
Yeah. Armbet, we haven't stopped. So we did our first release, what we considered was the minimum viable product. There are 5 releases in total that are planned. And we are hoping that with every release, we get a boost similar to what we got on the first one. The second one, the programming is done. Everything's done. We're just working out the bugs, working out the kinks. We are looking at some partnerships that will help us grow faster than what we currently are growing. But yeah, look for us not too long in the future. We will continue to grow. The goal behind the whole thing is to assist the community, to help grow the community. I think we did a good job with the first release. The second will be even better. The third will be even better. The fourth, and then the fifth. By the time we do our 5th release, it's going to be like magic. It's going to change the world of arm wrestling. But yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff too. Like with Armbet and No Limits, we have a few little projects that will just be really fun. Yeah. Lots of fun stuff, but you'll get it as we release. It should be within the next couple months.
Nice. And how many subscribers do you guys have? Do you know that info?
Yeah, I could look up specifically, but I think last time I looked, we were around 40,000 users online. But the problem is a lot of the accounts, I mean, we have to fix our messaging a little bit. There's issues with the messaging. And the second release is going to address all of that. But right now, the best thing that you can do with the app is find everybody, see everybody. And then you need to you can definitely try and contact them through the app, but at least this way you get an idea for who's around you. Still a working project, man. Still a working project. About 40,000. 40,000 currently. Yeah. But that number is going to hit 1 million over the next few years.
Okay. Now, I seen you were just recently in Louisiana, and I seen you training with a young up-and-coming lion, Robbie Carson. What do you think about him? Can you guys give me a little background with his polling and all? And I've seen you've been hanging out with him a lot and training him and all.
Yeah, Robbie's a stud. Young guy. He incredible strength base. So clearly an incredibly fit, strong human being. Natural hooker. Yeah, he's got a bright future. In that weight category, I don't know. I mean, I think that he's got a lot of guys to look at in that area. You know, he's blessed in Louisiana. I mean, not too far from him, he's got guys like Dan Mosier. He's got guys like Craig Toulier. So he has some guys like in his division that will be massive obstacles. So for a guy like Robbie, if he can clear out his province, he's basically right there on a world scene. So yeah, I mean, he's really good. He's very, very good.
Are you going to be working with him a lot?
Oh yeah, I'll the thing is so Robbie is actually the son of Rob Carson-Dyke, you know, and because of the Wharton's jelly and me going down and getting treatment kind of on the regular, every time I go down there, I get to see Robbie, and every time I I'll give him my best. I'll give him pointers. He's certainly got a bright future. Absolutely. Yeah.